Hey kids! Welcome back. So, we've learned about brass instruments, we learned about woodwind instruments, we've even had a couple of drum lessons. But there is a whole new instrument we've never done before. So I hope you're excited. Today, we're gonna learn, that's right kids, we're gonna learn one of our favorite stringed instruments, the violin. Let me just get mine for you real quick. It's somewhere over here. Let me just... Aha! Found it! Sorry about that, kids. So, that's right. This is a violin. So let's go through the parts together. So we have our strings, we have our body, we have our F holes, yes, those are Fs, believe it or not, and then of course our amazing bridge. Now, kids, you tell me, am I playing this right or wrong? Am I doing it wrong? You sure? No, wait a minute, you're right. We need something. We need this. What is this called, kids? If you said stick thingy with strings, you were close. It's actually called Echo Game. A bow. Now I'm gonna show you exactly how this works. First of all, you hold it like this, and then you put it across like this, and then you just...
No.
Oh.
Not even close.
Hey, kids! Who's this? Have you seen her before? I haven't. What are you doing here? Can you tell
I just
everybody
walked off the street and I saw you playing it incorrectly and I knew I had to fix it.
Oh, wow. So I'm in the wrong here, huh, kids? So everyone say, hi, Miss Taylor. All right. So, Miss Taylor, you told me I was doing this wrong. You're telling me I don't hold it like this and bow like, what am I doing wrong here?
Correct. So the violin actually goes on your shoulder, on your left shoulder. And it doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed, it always goes on the left shoulder.
But my mom, she told me I was left-handed. You telling me I'm not supposed to use my right hand?
Oh, no, you are. So you have your left hand there, and then with your right hand, you hold the bow.
Now, do I hold it like this, like a samurai sword?
No, you hold it, you get your hand out, make a C, have your thumb nice and curved. Let's actually go through the parts of the bow really quickly.
Okay.
This is called the frog. This is called the stick, which they were correct.
Really?
This is called the hair, and this is something that we do not touch because our hands get oily and gross and we don't want to take off the rosin, which we'll talk about in a second. And then, so what we're going to do, so we're making that C again. And we're going to put, for children, we start with under the frog, but since you're adult, you don't do that.
So kids, pay attention, please.
You put your thumb, and make sure it's nice and curved. You have your C. 2 fingers over the frog, curved pinky, finger over.
Miss Taylor,
and
that
voila.
sounds really, really difficult. Are you sure I can do this?
Let's hope.
Here we go. Let's try
So
it out.
make a C again.
Okay. Okay. Thumb. Oh, wow. Thumb goes
curve.
underneath,
Yes.
but not under here, right? No, we want it in between the strings and the stick.
Stick.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, then 2 fingers over.
Yep. Then curved pinky, not straight pinky, curved pinky.
So if you're a child at home
Like this.
and you're trying to get this bowstring figure, take a look right here. Now, she said a C, right? Outstanding. Thumb goes between the string and the stick. These 2 fingers go over. Watch her fix me.
Curve. I know you have to do workouts with your fingers to get them nice and strong with those joints.
Taylor, is this incredibly comfortable or uncomfortable?
Oh, it's incredibly uncomfortable. It will feel so weird.
At first, right?
At first. And then when you get to play 22 years, it feels very comfortable.
So if this is your first day and it's uncomfortable, that's okay.
That's okay.
Right?
It's going to feel uncomfortable for months.
So let me remind. So first of all, I have this attached. What is this called, Miss Taylor? Do you know?
I do know. It is called a shoulder rest, and it actually is removable.
So if you don't have one of these, you could put one on, right?
Yes.
You need one of these, don't you?
You need one of these.
You need one of these, kids.
Whoops. Can I?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
It's just easier to put it on this way, this. So it promotes good posture and it doesn't slide around.
So that rests literally on your shoulder.
On my shoulder.
Oh, okay. So when I see kids play violin,
In the front, that is incorrect.
not okay. Oh,
It is on the side.
Miss Taylor, I've seen some 18th century fiddlers play like this. Were they wrong?
No, because that was the style of their playing. They did not have chin rests, nor did they have a shoulder rest.
Oh, so without the proper things, you just kind of make do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is why a fiddle is different from a violin.
It's not though.
They're not?
No.
They're not different?
They're the same instrument.
Ah.
It's the style of playing.
Keep that in mind, kids. Whenever somebody says fiddle, they really
Same.
mean this. And
The only thing that actually changes is the bridge. You change the bridge for a fiddle bridge.
Oh, is it
And then-
shorter, bigger, or longer?
Straighter, so you can play chords. So
That's
you can
right.
play double stops.
How many? Raise your hand
Yeah.
if you love country music.
Yeah, that's exactly what's in there. Mm-hmm.
So this instrument is not only used in classical European literature, it's also used in American folk country. Who'd have thought there would have ever been any kind of combination like that? Who'd have thunk? I know I didn't, but I wasn't born yet. That happens to the best of us. All right, so Miss Taylor's gonna tell me if I'm doing this correctly or not. We've talked about grip. I've got my seat. Thumb between the string and the stick. Oh yeah!
Make
Two
it-
fingers over. And then my
Curved thumb, because
Again,
that's
yeah,
a straight
curve.
thumb.
Again,
Curved.
this is not, we don't want this, kids. This is not a C, that's an L for loser, which none of you are. You're fabulous. But we want a C, so the thumb is curved. And then your first finger and your pinky finger are also curved, while your second and third finger rest over like this.
Mm-hmm.
Try to do a better job. What do you think, Miss Taylor? Am I doing it right?
Have it parallel. Because it's easier, it's better. This is part of what I was going to do.
If you're at home and you're learning through video, I understand. It's not easy, but this is the best we can do.
And just-
Thanks,
yeah.
Covers. All right, you wonder if I can get some notes out now?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to start making some notes. Here we go. Okay, well, my chin probably needs to go on what?
The chin rest.
Oh, so I have a shoulder rest and a chin rest? For real? Well, this is the most comfortable instrument I've ever played. Neat. Okay, so I'm just going to start playing. Are you ready, kids? Here we go.
There's also something else that's wrong here.
But I got my
It's-
grip. I
But
have my grip.
It's actually the size of your bow. So look at the difference. This is a full size, which is what adults play, size of bow, and this is the bow that he was using. It's much smaller. So this is actually for a smaller size violin.
Oh.
You need this bow.
Wait, is this a full-size violin?
Yes, that is the largest violins get.
Who gets to use smaller violins? Who does that?
Younger children.
So younger than 12, you would think?
Yes.
Okay.
Some 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds, depending on how tall they are and how long their arms are, can be on a full size. I did not, but you can. But you start, this is on a full size, and we all know fractions, that it starts, depending on the size of the child, starting at an eighth size, quarter, half, 3/4, full.
That is a lot more sizes than I expected.
And there's a 16th, too.
What? Who is a 16? Who plays a 16th violin?
3 and 4-year-olds.
How many of you are 3 and 4? If you are not,
Yeah.
then you probably don't
You're
want a
gonna
1/16.
yeah,
1/16th violins will be like this big.
Yeah, an eighth violin is about this. So yeah, 16th literally looks like a tree
So if
ornament.
you're a kindergartner through 5th grader, which all of you probably are, unless you have a little brother or sister, you're gonna want at least a 3/4 size.
No, eighth.
An eighth.
You're starting on an eighth, usually around 6, 7, and then you start going up and you monitor about every couple months. You watch that student, see how they're holding it, see if their arm is touching their side. Just it will grow.
Miss Taylor, that doesn't seem fair. Are you telling me that if I'm 5 years old, I have to buy 5 different violins
That's
before
why
I'm an adult?
you rent. It's a lot cheaper and cost effective that you can rent online or from the Douglas County Youth Orchestra. No, I won't add that part.
You did a good job.
Because we're not taking new people. That you rent, and you can rent, depending on what it is, it can be about $25 a month, and it comes with the case, the bow. I think you usually do have to get your shoulder rest separately, but you get everything that you need to start. And then when you get to that next size, when your teacher says you're ready to move up, you switch those instruments out, they send you the next size, and I would probably only really spend the money on the full-size violin.
So you're
because
telling
that's
me
something,
that I don't want to buy 5 violins. I can just rent them.
but you can rent them.
That would probably save me money.
Yes.
Now, who do I contact if I want to rent an instrument? Do I contact Mr. Horowitz? Do I contact you? Who do I call? Who do I need to call?
Southweststrings.com. That's what the orchestra uses, and I've gotten my instruments let's see, like not a set, what is the term? Outfit. That's what they call it.
An outfit.
Yeah, they call it the outfit with the bow, the case, the violin, and rosin. I would say about $200 would be a good amount, because the problem is the stuff that you see online for like $60, $70, those are really not playable. They don't stay in tune.
So you're telling me we don't have to spend millions of dollars to just start. We could just spend a few $100 and we can get everything, and we can watch this video and we're fine.
Or rent for way, way, way cheaper.
I like this idea. Again, support your local industries, support local economy. Call either of us if you need to get an instrument, and we'll make sure we take good care of you. But now I've got my instrument. Do I have my bow?
Here,
but you told me to use the proper size.
You'll have the real size now.
Oh, look how much bigger this. Dude, look at that.
And it's heavier, too.
Dude, oh, good. Not by kilograms, but probably by micrograms.
Yes, I think, no, they are.
Do I need to have these strings tightened or loosened to play?
So, yes, in order to do that, when you take this out of your case, it needs to be loosened. So the rule of thumb is usually in order to tighten it, you turn this turning screw, this right here, 3 times away from you.
1,
2, 3.
If I turn it towards me, what happens? It loosens, right?
It loosens it.
We don't want that.
We don't want that.
We want it tight. Got it.
So this looks about right. So now you can try that, because now we'll make a much better sound on those strings.
Let's check our technique again. So our C is curved, which means our thumb is curved. These 2 fingers go over, and then our pinky and our forefinger. Again, let our expert take care of us. Okay, so shoulder rest goes on the shoulder, bing, boom, bop. And then my chin rest goes on the chin rest. Except it's not my chin rest, it's the chin rest. You silly kids, stop misunderstanding what I say. All right, so we'll try to get a good sound this time. Let's see if I can do it.
Curve thumb.
Curve thumb. Listen.
Much better.
I appreciate that. I'm still hearing some things that aren't quite right. Do you have your instrument available?
Yes.
So we're going to play together. And we're going to make sure that my violin is sounding like hers. Our violins.
I'm putting my
take a look.
shoulder rest, because you never leave your shoulder rest on your instrument, because when you close the case, this makes it a lot higher and it's going to crush everything.
I'll say it again just in case you weren't listening, because I know some of you kids check out. This does not stay on this. You have to take this off when you put it away. If you don't, you'll ruin Thanksgiving, and you only get one a year, so don't do that. You kids.
So what was your question?
So I want to make sure that our sounds are the same. So go ahead.
So I want you to play your open A string.
There's 4 strings here, Miss Taylor.
There is.
How do I know?
So you can go to your thinnest string, the tiniest string.
Ooh.
That is your E.
E.
So that is a little sharp.
Ooh,
so what
really?
we're going to do is that I'm going to take, these are fine tuners.
Show them where. Where are they?
I do not have them on mine.
Oh, so
These
are the big tuners, right?
And we don't touch those.
We don't touch these unless we really need to.
That's what
These
we
are
use
our
to tune.
micro tuners. Outstanding. So let's play each of our strings together. You tell me if it's good or not.
E.
I do not sound good, class. Let's see if Miss Taylor can fix it.
I might actually. This has to be a. I have to do it with that. It's a little sharp.
Okay. So we're not going to use the micro. Usually we would use the micro tuners, but it sounds
for
like.
But this is for a teacher.
Now watch. This is really important. She holds the violin against her stomach area, right around here, and you can see that this is coming out towards her.
So sometimes I will go a little bit farther with this. It's a little low, so I'm going to use the fine tuner to make it go back up again.
Again, look how she's holding that instrument, class. Is she holding it like this trying to tune? No, she's
I
putting
don't
it
want
down
this
here.
to fall. I'm having a whole because this is very, very delicate.
Oh, are you telling me if you drop that violin once, it's over? Is that what you're
It
telling
might
me?
be because it happened to me when I was young.
It's
so
a big enough risk we're not willing to take.
Yeah.
If you drop your violin,
the bridge will fall out because this is not glued down. The only reason why it's even standing straight up is because the strings are pushing down. If you took the strings off, this bridge would immediately fall off.
oh, interesting. What happens if it does fall off? Do I do something?
Call your teacher. Usually, now if the bridge actually breaks like in half, then we have to like order a new bridge.
Right.
And then we have to actually take it to somebody that's called a luthier who actually works on violins. Because you have to have it fit to the instrument. But if it just falls off, your teacher should be able to replace it there.
Outstanding.
So let's check your A string now.
Make sure I'm all good here.
A, which is the one right next to E. So you have the super thin one.
Oh,
and
so
then,
our highest string is our E string, but we need our A string, which is the second to highest, right?
Mhm.
Cool. So, the bridge, it's outstanding. You told us that this bridge is not glued
Correct.
to the... So if the strings came off, the bridge falls over.
Yes.
And then we need to have someone refit it for us. If our bridge breaks, we absolutely need to get a new one.
Mhm.
You call your teacher. You go to Southwest Strings.
Yes.
One or the other. Again, you know what? Between you and me and you, it would be better if you didn't just go buy stuff.
Yeah.
It would be better if you didn't just go buy stuff. If you talk to us, we'll make sure you get what you need so you don't buy the wrong thing.
There's different types of bridges. That's why.
Right, there's Jeff Bridges. Oh, he's an actor. And then there's,
Yeah.
never mind. Anyway, okay, great. So, all right, it's about time that I started playing this thing and it sounded
Yes.
good. Now, were we able to tune this?
Yes.
Should we check our pitches?
Yeah. Oh, here's your bow.
And I'm not going to use my little bow because
Yes.
I'm an adult. I'm going to use the full-size bow.
Full-size bow.
Very soon I'll have my own, and you'll see, kids. You'll all see.
So let's try the E string again.
Okay. Fingers bent.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
Thumb curled.
Thumb curved. Thumb
Finger-
curved the other way. It's
Keeps
yeah.
wanting. My
Yes.
thumb keeps wanting to straighten out for some reason. Probably because I'm a drummer. So I need to
Yes, so
practice.
you want to do, and especially playing timpani.
Oops.
Sorry.
Click. Cheers.
Also,
cheers,
side
mate.
note, these are not lightsabers.
No.
Just before I forget,
Right.
These are not lightsabers. They will break. They're not swords. So even though that accidents happen, but please do not ever decide to do a sword fight or a lightsaber
Because if
fight.
I accidentally catch you accidentally having an accidental sword fight with bows, I'm going to take both your bows away from you. I'm going to wrap them around your head like a bow. And then you're going to have a nice little present for Thanksgiving that you're not going to ruin. Here we go.
So open E. Didn't,
Why is mine shaking so much, Miss Taylor?
because it's your bow. Mhm.
So I didn't shake that time.
Mhm.
Outstanding.
Okay, and then A. And then
Do you hear that crunch at the very beginning? Am I doing that?
yes.
Am I doing that?
Yes.
How do I get rid of that?
Well, you can start just a little bit higher up in your bow. Also, you have all this
Oh.
weight in your hand. So when you are playing at the very end, which is called towards the frog, you get that crunchiness. If you just don't start,
So I don't want to start all the way up
Pressing
here.
down.
I want to start about 3
Yeah.
inches away from that. So if I ever showed you to start up here, obviously I was wrong about that. So start a little bit down here. Oh, that's
Yeah,
much
much
better.
better.
Instead of hearing this, why? Who invented that? You're fired. But again, we don't want to play 2 strings at once. We only want to play 1 string.
that's something else later.
All right, let's keep moving.
Okay, and then D. Open D.
Ooh, is that my second to lowest string?
Yes.
Ah,
Okay, and then G.
ooh. So wait, I don't want to start at the very tip either. I don't want to start up.
Correct.
So almost like 3 inches here or 3 inches here. Very
Want to
good.
play more from this part of your bow to this part. This is where you're going to get the best sound.
So if I were to just start, I would only want to practice playing 1 string at a time.
Correct.
Only using these parts of the bow. Okay. Do you have an exercise that we should
Well,
start today?
first I have another thing that no. You put that up there. Everything is great, but the one thing that we have to work on is your left hand.
Oh.
So your left hand was kind of like chilling right there. What actually has to happen is it has to come out, and it's what we call wrist out. So your wrist in would be like that, and we don't want that. Wrist out, it's like if you're waving at yourself. There's all of that. Also, can I see this for a second?
Yeah, of course.
On his violin, I have put these lines here to show where you put your fingers. And either have your teacher or me put them on. Don't just try to guess. Because it's a little bit different on each violin, the placement. So the main thing is that you will have your thumb, your left hand thumb, across from this first finger tape. That's what this is. First finger, second finger, third finger.
We're gonna use 3 fingers today.
Just 3 fingers. Your pinky's just chilling up here. It's not back here, but it's still there. 1, 2, 3. So your thumb is across from the first finger tape. That was the main thing that I wanted.
Let's make sure I can get this right. So I'm looking at this. I see. Now, if you don't have these markings at home, that's okay. It's okay to guess for now.
At least eyeball it.
But it's more important that you get a proper teacher. So make sure you give one of us a call. We can set you up. So you got my thumb opposite of my first little line there, and my wrist needs to be out. Is this also uncomfortable when you start?
Yes, it's very uncomfortable. You're going to feel really tired in this arm area. This is not going to be comfortable. And the other thing is, same idea with the C fingers, curved fingers. So there, so you can get right on the tips. I'm going to put you on A. Right on the tips of your fingers. Not straight like this, right on the tips.
So if I hold my wrist like this, class, that's going to be so painful, it's going to be unbearable. I want to keep my wrist pointed out and away from the instrument, almost like I was cradling a small child. What do you think? Could I cradle a child like this? It'd be weird, right? Be a little strange. But it's better than like this. You cradle a child like that, they'll fall out of your arms and you'll be responsible for your sister. You want to hold it out like this. Close?
A little, yeah, that was maybe a little bit
Again,
too far.
curvature is so important. As a drummer, I'm used to being straight-limbed and straight-faced.
And it's not, it's completely opposite.
Completely opposite.
Make sure you're on.
I guess you could say that I'm very uncharacteristic from a violin player. As a percussionist, they almost contradict each other.
And then make sure that there's a hole in between here. That's why you need that hole.
Again, not clipped against like this, but a lot of space.
Yeah, because it's not this. You want to be able to see a hole. I'm trying to get the right angle. There we go. Not that.
Right. Again, we're not choke slamming this thing. This ain't WCW or whatever it's called now. But
WWE.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't. I'm not caught up with sports. So wrist is out. Thumb is comfortably.
And so I want you to It's good to practice it, even though you're not going to be putting any fingers down for a while, to get used to how this feels. And I know it's very uncomfortable.
All right. I know you've been waiting for this. Grab your violin. I'll wait. Good job. You can always pause the video if you need to. So I want you to do me a favor. In fact, Miss Taylor, if you would grab your instrument too, I want you to grab your instrument and I want you to look just like us, and I want you to hold it for 10 seconds. So
just without the bow.
Just with your left hand. Remember, it doesn't matter which hand you are. Your left hand, if you don't know your left from your right, ask mom and dad. But left and right, your left hand is holding the instrument. So let's count backwards from 10, 9, 8, don't move, 7, 6, don't give up, 5, 4, I see you sweating, 3, 2, and relax. Woof.
And you can start to feel that burning there, yeah.
That's normal, right, class? That's normal. For that, again, it's gonna hurt at first, but just like all things, it's gonna take time. All right, you just keep working on it. Let's do it again. Counting backwards from 10, 9, fix me, 8,
did you want to
7,
get used to
6,
yeah,
5,
second and third finger
4,
on the tapes.
3, 2, let's do it again since I didn't do it right. Counting backwards from 10, 9, this is incredibly difficult, 8, 7, 6.
Perfect. That looks
Again,
great.
once this COVID is all over and you want violin lessons, we'll set you up. It's much better to have someone in real life helping you. Instead of trying to figure this out through a video, I figured this is as best as we can do for now. Some of you are going to be violin players. I won't stop until you are. 3, 2, all right, relax.
Okay.
What? Am I holding my violin with just my chin?
Oh, no, we don't want to do
Oh,
that.
we don't do that. Right, class?
Because it has
See what
such a
happened?
tendency to fall.
Right.
That when you are done playing, there's this, and then there's something that's called rest position, where you put it underneath your right arm, you're holding the neck of the instrument, so if it can't fall, or the only other way to hold it is if you're holding the neck firmly and just holding it like this.
So we don't leave it here unattended. We don't do that because we could drop the instrument. I see. So when we're done, we go ahead and put it down. We hold it with our left hand. We just hold it like this. Wow.
Or that.
Who thought?
Both ways.
Who'd have thought? Just like this. But again, not like this. In fact, if you ever see a professional player do that,
they can
assume
do that.
they're, they've probably been doing it for 30 years. So, but you've just started. So let's not take that risk. So what, again, if I drop the instrument, I could break it, right?
Yes, for sure. And there's actually also something inside the instrument I forgot to tell you about earlier. It's inside, if you look inside the F hole, there is like a little post about this big that's inside to keep this from caving in. And sometimes if you do drop it, it will be, and if you hear rattling when you go like that, that needs to be fixed because the sound post is very important. That's what it's called, is a sound post.
Who fixes your sound post?
The luthier. You do not try to touch it because you have to go in through these tiny little F-holes and try to reset it, and sometimes they have to take this whole front part off, depending on how bad it is. So you really don't want to drop it. It's not just about the bridge or getting nicks on your instrument. There is something inside the violin that could also break.
Now, I know what you're thinking, class. Are you all going to stop chatting and yatting? Are you going to start making some music or what? Well, fine. I'm going to let our guest, Miss Taylor, she's going to play for us just a little bit to show us exact proper technique. If you don't look like she does, you're probably doing it wrong. Miss Taylor, what do you have for us today?
So first, what I'm just going to do, just so you can see what a nice bow stroke is supposed to look like, I'm going to play the D major scale with 4 quarter notes each. And I want you to look at my wrist in my bow. The other thing, and I know you see me doing this because I can do this, you can't, is that you don't want to have your whole arm moving. It is just from the elbow down. No swinging arms. And that will be the first thing that you learn once you can play all the open strings. You will be learning how to play on your D string and on your A string using your first, second, and third finger. And then do you want me to play something a little bit more, maybe a little bit more interesting to see like what could happen in a couple years?
Just for fun, because we're all starting, is there an exercise you and I can do together with open strings? And
Yes.
Play along with?
Yeah, let's do a repeat after me.
I would like you to play something you already know, just so the kids don't get bored. But just if you're just starting out, put yourself in the right positions, check your grip, so what are we gonna do today?
Okay, so we're gonna do a repeat after me. We're gonna be on the D string. So
Which
find your
is-
D string.
That's gonna be the second to highest.
Nope, that's your A.
I was
So
close.
D.
I was close. Second to lowest.
Da, that's
Outstanding.
a D.
So,
Okay.
show us what to do.
Okay. Good. Everything was great there. I'm looking at, okay, that little bit, no, it doesn't need to be quite, yes. And then you also want to have, oh good, you do have space. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to do that again. Good, and what I really like is that you are watching your bow and where your bow is in between this fingerboard and bridge. Because that's very important right now. You need to be able to watch your bow, make sure that it's going straight. It's not going wonky all this way.
We don't want X's, right? We don't want X's. We want plus signs. We want perpendicular motion.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, so up.
Up we go.
So make sure, did you hear that little rest? Bum, bum.
Oh, we don't want to rest.
Bum.
We don't want to rest, do we?
Yeah, it was a repeat. It's doing a repeat after me.
Let's do it again, class. Get your instrument should be out by now. If it's not, get back and go get it.
Yes, okay. So now what I want to do, I'm going to do, let's practice the D and the A. So we're going to do 4 Ds and 4 A's. I'm going to play first, then you're going to do it.
You got it.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, really good tone too. There's no or anything.
Right, we don't hear that. We took that away. We took this end part away. We got rid of that, right? And then of course we didn't go all the way to the tip either. You will someday, but not today.
Not today.
Kids, again, I'm the one you should be playing with because I'm learning. I'm the student today. She's the teacher. So when she plays, you play what she plays. It's not like you've never watched one of my videos before.
So now we're going to do 2 Ds and 2 A's.
Nice.
So why don't we try that one more time so
I
you
hit
don't
too many notes.
hit the E string. And yeah, so try that again.
Let's do it one more time, class. Do it with me. 1, 2, 2 D's, 2 A's. Sing. D, D, A, A.
Much better.
Woohoo!
Yes.
So, Miss Taylor, would you like to play something fun for us now?
Yes.
That was
I
a
can.
great starting point for anybody beginning, but
Yes.
I bet all of you at home would like to hear a piece of music from an amazing violin player. Or what do you guys call it? Violinists?
Violinists.
Violinians?
I have never heard that
Are you
one.
from the country of Violinia?
Violinia? And that's just the first part of Humoresque by Dvorak.
Oh, Antonin Dvorak.
Dvorak.
We'll have to get into that guy later. All right, class. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. I think that's all the time we have for today. So this is Miss Taylor, and this is Mr. Hurwitz signing off. Bye,
Bye.
kids.